Hey, welcome to Models and Agents, Episode 6 for March 5th, 2026, your daily briefing on the AI models and agents that are changing everything. And no, not those kinds of models and agents. Let's get into it. YuanLab AI launches Yuan 3.0 Ultra, a 1T-parameter multimodal MoE model cutting parameters by 33% while boosting efficiency 49%. All right, that headline has me pumped. Efficiency gains like that could really shake up how we deploy big models without breaking the bank. If you're building multimodal apps, this one's a game changer. Stick around as we dive into why. So, what you need to know today, YuanLab AI just dropped Yuan 3.0 Ultra, their flagship multimodal mixture of experts foundation model packing 1T total parameters but activating only 68.8B at a time, hitting state-of-the-art enterprise performance with way less cost than dense models like Llama 3. At the same time, we're seeing a surge in multi-agent research, spotlighting emergent behaviors in huge agent populations and fresh frameworks for stuff like sarcasm detection and scientific exploration. These are pushing collaborative AI further, especially in tricky areas like finance and robotics, where you need that sweet spot between autonomy and reliability. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the pace, yeah, me too, but today we'll break down what matters and what you can actually try right now. Let's jump into the top story, YuanLab AI's release of Yuan 3.0 Ultra. This is an open-source large language model built on a mixture of experts architecture, or MoE for short. That's where the model has a bunch of specialized experts that get activated selectively, rather than running everything all at once like a dense model. It boasts a whopping 1T total parameters, but only 68.8B are active during inference, which is huge for efficiency. Compared to their previous versions or even competitors, this cuts total parameters by 33.3% and ramps up pre-training efficiency by 49%, all while delivering top-tier results in enterprise setups. We're talking strong intelligence across text, vision, and more, like handling visual question answering or document analysis without needing a supercomputer. What sets it apart from something like Qwen or Llama? Well, those are great. But Yuan 3.0 Ultra really leans into MoE scaling for cost-sensitive spots. If you've been using Llama 3 for multimodal tasks, this could change things because it maintains that state-of-the-art edge but with way less compute overhead. Think running on fewer GPUs without sacrificing smarts. It's multimodal out of the gate, so it processes text and images seamlessly, making it ideal for apps that blend those like automated content generation or smart search. For developers, this is exciting because it's open source, so you can fine-tune it for your needs without massive resources. The practical takeaway, if you're building enterprise-level stuff, this enables more accessible deployments. Hugging Face already has it integrated, so you can spin up tests quickly. What to watch? Community benchmarks are going to pop up soon, pitting it against Gemini or Claude variants. Expect some head-to-heads on speed and accuracy. And with it being open, forks and fine-tunes should flood in fast, tailoring it for niches like healthcare or finance. Honestly, just when I thought MoE was peaking, this reminds me why efficiency is the real breakthrough here. It democratizes powerful AI without the hype of bigger is always better. Moving on to model updates, we've got a few solid ones today. First up, Dynabot AI just raised an 8-figure Series A to expand their agentic AI for financial services. They're all about getting past the pilot problem, where AI demos look amazing in a dashboard but fizzle out in real production. Unlike general-purpose models like GPT or Claude, Dyna AI specializes in AI-as-a-service tools for things like fraud detection or compliance, making it easier to integrate reliable agentic workflows in regulated spots. If you're a fintech dev, this matters because it cuts down on deployment headaches, potentially speeding up how you roll out AI without getting stuck in endless testing loops. Next, there's this new research on mechanistic reward shaping to tackle biases in language reward models, or RMs. These are the systems that help align large language models like Llama or Mistral by scoring outputs for things like helpfulness. The issue? Biases creep in, like favoring longer responses, being overly sycophantic, or just sounding too confident when it's wrong. This method uses post-hoc interventions with minimal labeled data to fix those, outperforming standard RMs by reducing specific biases without tanking overall quality. It's extensible too, so you can adapt it to new problems like model-specific styles. For folks in alignment work, this means sturdier fine-tuning pipelines, especially in high-stakes areas where a hallucination could snowball into bigger errors. It's practical wisdom in action, fixing real pain points without overcomplicating things. And rounding out the updates, a fresh approach called greedy-based value representation, or GVR, for multi-agent reinforcement learning. This improves coordination in setups like December POMDPs, decentralized partially observable Markov decision processes, basically environments where agents make decisions with incomplete info. GVR ensures optimal consistency in breaking down values, handling relative overgeneralization better than linear or monotonic methods. It uses stuff like inferior target shaping and superior experience replay to keep complexities manageable, outperforming baselines on benchmarks for stability and cooperative tasks. If you're a MRL dev, multi-agent reinforcement learning, this boosts how agents team up without losing optimality, which is key for things like robotics or games. This fits into a bigger trend of making multi-agent systems more reliable, tying back to that balance of autonomy we mentioned earlier. The research side is heating up. It's like every week we're getting tools to make agents play nicer together. Shifting gears to agent and tool developments where things get really fun because this is about what these systems can actually do. First, Multbook from Mult Dynamics simulates over 770,000 LLM agents in a multi-agent environment, uncovering emergent social stuff like roles, information cascades, and cooperative patterns. It's wild. Power law cascade sizes show how info spreads unevenly, and distributed tasks succeed less than single-agent ones, but it hints at nascent cooperation. This builds on frameworks like AutoGen or Crew AI by giving empirical data for large-scale coordination. If you're into decentralized systems, try replicating these population-scale experiments. The code's available. It's a cool way to study how agents might evolve in real-world sims, though it highlights the need for better protocols to make collaboration stick. Then there's an evaluation of social norm reasoning in multimodal language models, testing 5 MLLMs including GPT-4o and Qwen 2.5 VL on how they handle norms in multi-agent systems. They crush it on text but struggle with images, with GPT-4o leading the pack for integrating into norm-aware multi-agent simulations, or NORMAS. This extends symbolic approaches in tools like LangGraph, letting agents reason about complex social scenarios in embodied setups. Developers, grab the benchmarks and test these models yourself to build safer agents. It's a step toward ethical AI that actually understands social cues, especially in multimodal contexts. Last in this section, MAC, or Multi-Agent Collaborative Competition, introduces an institutional setup for LLM-based multi-agent systems and scientific workflows. It uses a Blackboard workspace and incentives for transparency and efficiency, beating single-agent baselines on exploration tasks. Compared to isolated agents in something like AutoGPT, this scales up discovery in a reproducible way. Experiment with it for your own agentic research pipelines. The framework lets you customize incentives for domains like biology or physics. I love how this shows agents competing and collaborating for better science. It's genuinely exciting for anyone automating R&D. Now for the practical and community side, the stuff you can dive into today. Triton DFT is a multi-agent framework automating density functional theory workflows in materials science. DFT is a computational method for predicting material properties at the quantum level, and this tool uses entropy-aware gating, conflict-aware coarsening, and Pareto-aware inference to juggle accuracy and cost. It tackles coordination snags in complex sims with a benchmark called DFT Bench showing solid, multi-dimensional performance. If you're in materials science, clone the GitHub repo and run it for real DFT tasks. It solves common pain points like balancing resources, though you'll need some domain know-how, and it relies on expert-curated data. Hamlet brings a hierarchical and adaptive multi-agent framework for live embodied theatrics with LLM agents. It uses a think-search-memorize strategy to improvise performances from simple topics, outshining baselines on expressiveness and coherence. This is perfect for immersion in interactive narratives, like in entertainment or education apps. Agent devs clone the repo and generate some theatrical scripts. It's optimized for online setups, but tweak it for non-English if needed. It's amusing how AI is getting into improv. Just when you think agents are all business, they start acting. And Savade is a self-evolving multi-agent framework for sarcasm detection, leveraging dynamic agent reasoning and a rationale adjudicator to hike accuracy by 6.75% on benchmarks. It cuts down hallucinations in tricky, ironic language, fixing single-perspective LLM flaws for tasks like sentiment analysis in social agents. Pop it into your NLP pipelines. The code's coming soon upon acceptance with big macro F1 gains, though it's compute heavy for huge data sets. This is underrated for anyone dealing with nuanced text. Multi-agent takes make sarcasm less of a headache. Okay, things to try this week. Let's make it actionable. If you haven't played with Yuan 3.0 Ultra yet, head to Hugging Face and test it on multimodal tasks like image captioning. Its efficient MoE design really stands out in low-resource setups, outperforming dense models like Llama 3 without guzzling compute. Perfect time to see if it fits your app. Experiment with Multbook's Agent Population Simulator if multi-agent coordination is your jam. Set up your own scaled environments to watch emergent roles, and use those insights to tweak designs in frameworks like Crew AI. It's a hands-on way to grasp large-scale behaviors. Test GPT-4o or Qwen 2.5 VL on those norm reasoning benchmarks for crafting ethical agents. Check how multimodal inputs influence social capabilities in tools like LangGraph. This week is ideal for building norm-aware systems. Integrate Civade into sarcasm-heavy NLP workflows for tougher hallucination resistance. Its multi-agent setup beats vanilla retrieval augmented generation on complex rhetoric, so try it if irony trips up your models. And run Triton DFT for materials science simulations to automate DFT. The Pareto optimization helps nail that cost-accuracy balance in agentic scientific tools. Dive in if that's your field. On the horizon, keep an eye out for community fine-tunes of Yuan 3.0 Ultra, probably zeroing in on domains like finance or healthcare. Expect more multi-agent reinforcement learning advancements building on GVR, maybe meshing with agent frameworks for robotics. Anticipate betas from platforms like Dyna AI, aiming for production-ready financial AI that moves past pilots. And look for expansions in multi-agent benchmarks following Massey's push in scientific exploration tools. Before we go, tomorrow, keep an eye on emerging benchmarks comparing Yuan 3.0 Ultra to Gemini and Claude, as community tests could reveal surprising efficiency wins. That's Models and Agents for March 5th, 2026. If you found this useful, share it with someone who's trying to keep up with all these changes and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's update. The AI world moves fast. We'll help you keep up. See you tomorrow.